Ah, so you're back. I guess you like what you see? So you're here for another show. Well, guess what? I'm here to give you another show. You guys have been saying in the comments section, hey, more AMD motherboards, more AMD motherboards. All right, I love you. I listened. I've got some more AMD motherboards for you. Got a couple I'm going to unbox for the next couple days for you, starting off with one from Biostar. Now, before you guys start making some weird comments about Biostar, you should actually try using their products. I've actually been using their products for like the past 8 years, and I really haven't had any problems with their motherboards. They've never been like super duper mainstream, but they've always been well priced and they always perform well. That's one of the reasons they've been a leader in the OEM channel. Today, we're going to take a look at their 990FXE motherboard. This is their TA series motherboard. The TA is supposed to be their overclocking board. So supposedly this motherboard has pretty good overclocking features as well. We'll get into that. But that said, let's go. Let's unbox this AMD motherboard for your folks. This is the TA990FXE from Biostar. So check it out. We'll start out like usual on the outside of the box. You see we got the Biostar name up here. Right up here we have this thing that says Bio Remote 2. What this basically is that you can control off your Android or your iPhone. You can actually control the BIOS functions of your motherboard. Pretty cool stuff if you're into that. Also, you can see right here, this is the Extreme Edition, and it comes with a 3-year manufacturer's warranty if you register the board. It's pretty cool stuff. As you can see, Biostar has actually traveled back in time because right here they have the ATI Crossfire. So I guess that they either bought the sticker a couple of years ago or they're just lost in a time lapse. Yes, Jerry, I'm talking to you. Anyways, go on the FX processor. See, it's the 9 series. Everything's good to go here. The motherboard obviously supports the AM3 CPU, otherwise we wouldn't have anything to talk about. And that said, let's jump in actually into the inside of the box. Starting off, you have the user's manual of the TA990FXE. We'll go ahead and just set that down there. Inside, we have 2 brackets for Crossfire. You can see that right there. Good to go. Obviously in AMD motherboards, you want to support Crossfire, at least you better hope so. The drivers and utilities CD. The rear I/O, and all of the cables. Now these are all the 6 gigabit cables. These are all the new school ones. They'll work just fine. If you were over and seeing this in the review, this would actually be called basically the content or the bundles section. I'll go ahead and move that out of the way and we'll move on to the motherboard itself. You guys love the sound effects? The boxes fell off the table. It's interesting. We never edit that stuff out because that's actually real life, you know? What's that old saying? If bad can happen, oh, it will. Well, trust me, you guys don't see half of it. Anyways, let's start out. Let's look at the motherboard. I like the way it looks. For those fans out there who like the colors red and black, you're really going to be digging this. And Biostar, let me just emphasize once again, is not a junky company. Just because you may not happen to know their brand, they are a very good company. And this motherboard is starting to actually show them flexing their muscles, trying to get new motherboards out there that are more appealing to you guys, the end user. All across here, you can see custom cooling. Keeps all your MOSFETs and your heat sinks running nice and cool. Around the ZIF socket, there's not too much area right here, room for too many aftermarket CPU coolers. If you use a real giant one, you may run into problems there. We'll see that in the review. You also can use 32 gigabytes of DDR3 memory. This is dual channel. You can see that here. Moving down the board, we'll start to see the PCI slots. There are 2 PCI 16X slots here. There are a single 1X slot and 2 of your old school PCI slots here. Now, all of the controllers on here, the SATA controllers, are the new type. There are none of the old SATA 2 types. These are all SATA 3, the 6 gigabit connections. You can see those here, along with 24-pin power here as well. And then we're going to flip around here, move the camera and get a real close shot. I'll move it up here. You can see that everything on the board is SATA 6 gigabit. That is one thing I do say that AMD has in their favor. All of their new 990 boards all have this. It's a pretty good feature. I think I've only seen one board that didn't have that. We also see a breakout connector here for a USB 3.0 bracket. I didn't see that in the box. That's kind of a little bit lagging, but not the end of the world. We also have a meter right here. This is going to show you if there's any problems. There's going to be a number that comes up on this. It'll tell you, hey, this problem is this. And you look it up in a book, it'll tell you. It actually helps if you need it. All the connections for your case are all right here on the motherboard. You can see they're all very easy to connect. This motherboard supports the latest FX 8120 and 8150 processors. You guys know those, FX fans. That's about it for as far as the motherboard goes. This is just the unboxing, so I'm just trying to go over as much stuff as possible, but I want to show you guys the rear I/O. As you can see, we have both the legacy PS2 keyboard and mouse ports. Then we have a coaxial and SPIF audio. Then right next to that, we have 2 of our first USB controllers. Then after that, we have 3 more USB controllers and an eSATA controller. followed by the LAN, 2 USB 3.0 headers, and then 5 to 7.1 audio analog connections. This is the rear I/O. This has been the Biostar TA990FXE unboxing. Thanks for watching. We'll see you folks as we build this and bring you guys the full review.